So, for another interesting blog entry, we have tattoos, and we have this tattoo here. This was one of the first ones I did, and it was done with cheap ink. So we're going to use this new ink to fill this guy in, which used to be a bass clef. Kind of looks like a smiley face. There we go. So I'm going to try to set up these cameras, or the cameras, so that I can do this without having to hold the camera. So we've got to get the sock off there. Gotta clean the area. So we will use this little mixture of, so where's the camera? This mixture of green soap and water. Just spray a little hint of that on there. Clean it up a little bit. Excuse my legs, they're a little dry. Razor. Gonna mix that with some cleaner. The area around it. Get the smaller parts there. Any little bump in the road can be an issue. So next, a little paper towel action here. Just rinse it off with some water a little bit. And just the slightest bit of cheap ass shaving cream. Just to kind of lube it up. Use a fresh razor. Should be good. Smooth. The leg is a little dry. Gets that way in the winter. And now what I gotta do is figure out if I want to do this freehand or if I want to draw it in, which I think I'm going to draw it in, just the outline, which, try an improv here. You got the dots as such, and then curlicue. Doesn't need to be perfect as long as I do the real thing perfect. Need to have an idea. So there we go. It's the basic idea. This is a surgical pen. That's what they use to draw places to cut people open. And now we get our table. Supplies. Clean off with some serious antibacterial spray. And much into our goodies here. Nice cream here. I got people messaging me left and right. Now we need a couple things. We're going to need a cap. Maybe two. And that liner. The rubber band. And this little guy here. One of these will have some water in it, just in case. And we'll find the right needles. 5 liner. We'll go with 7. Got our needle, pre-packaged, fancy stuff. And then we got to get a tube that matches the 9 round. Round. I like the smaller ones better, but I think that's all I got. Yeah. There is the needle. There are 7 tiny needles in there. I know it's hard to see. Oh, I know why. Nope. Just not focusing very well. Anyway. We tend to bend this a little bit. And the goal is to get this guy through without bumping any edges. And any bump to the edges cause it to dull. So, let's bring this guy in. This guy up, and like pretty much everything else, I'm self-taught, so a lot of what I'm doing is from my own trial and error. And for any of you watching that actually does this for a living, you know, keep that in mind if you are going to say I'm wrong about something. I'm going to take this rubber band here though. See this wobble here? Let me get that to a minimum. So, no more wobble. And you'll see, maybe you can see that just a little bit out, and I think for the most part that's kind of up to the tattoo artist in general. I like to be able to see where I'm at. Some people like to have it all the way down, almost. Just kind of my preference. Now we need a power supply, which is this guy here. Our alligator clips, which if I was doing this on anybody but me, I would be covering this stuff up a little more. But for me, that's how it goes. Now we need an outlet. Which is hiding behind here. So we now have power, and make sure I've got the, it's been a while, I might have plugged the alligators into the wrong nope, we're good to go. Scared yet? I'm not. It'll be good. I can't get a better angle. And I'm not going to go through all of this. I'll probably skip ahead a little bit. But I thought I'd give you guys an interesting look into some of the other craziness I get into. I don't just spend my life going to the bank and picking up children and making web tutorials. Sometimes, just sometimes, I do crazy things like tattoo myself. So now we have our red ink. And get some towels ready. Generally take about 4 of these guys, rip them in half, and then rip them in half again, and I've got a nice amount of here, towels. So now what? Change out the gloves, reposition a few things. Get better shot of this before my leg goes numb. So got Vaseline, which that's my own personal, otherwise I would be using a fresh one for somebody else, just to keep everybody happy with how I'm doing things here. We got our green soap, which burns like a bitch. It's alcohol based, so I don't use that too much. We just got regular water, mineral water to do mostly cleaning. I am going to clean up just a little bit. Some green soap. Just kind of dab that down. That's going to smear our drawing there a little bit, which is fine with me because I don't really want it to be showing through. I'm actually going to get another bib so I don't feel like getting my long johns dirty. So let's see. Yes, I can smoke while I do my own tattoo. That's another benefit of tattooing yourself. I can do what I want. So, let's get some fresh gloves. Now, for you, those of you who do not have tattoos, the fact that I do this to myself is a little odd. I enjoy it. Some people can't do it. Some people can't even do a tattoo in general. I'm going to need a different support. Shit. This is actually my grandmother's stool. I'll use that instead. I need my foot, the other foot, to control the pedal. So I can turn this guy on and off. So I need to get a little bit of ink up in there. You can barely tell, but it is up in there. Start with something easy, stretch out the skin. There you go, one circle. Feels great. I chose this thicker liner so that I can actually fill in at least the circles with it. Try and stay in camera here. One thing I totally forgot was the Vaseline. I brought it up, but I didn't use it. Now would be a good time to use it. What it does is creates a little bit of a slip, a little nice lubricant. Don't want too much, otherwise the ink won't stay. Let's get a second circle. Go ahead and fill it in. Caught a piece of hair. No good. Clean that up. Make this one a little thicker. The only problem with the red ink is it's hard to tell what's blood and what's ink, huh? Kind of looks like both. We'll work on this line here. It's kind of hard to tell what's going on here. We got the outline. Looks a little ragged, but that's the fun part about doing something that's not straight lines. So you don't have to be perfect. You can always fix it. I don't know if I'm going to actually fill in this whole thing with the liner. That might be a little too much. go though. That don't hurt like a mother. And there we go. It's hard to tell, we still have a bunch of the original ink in there. Use a little bit of the green soap without making myself cry.
And I think we got most of it.
Kind of leave it be. Once it heals, I can figure out if I missed something. And if so, I just need to do a little more color. And we're good to go. that is how that is done, at least in my world. I'm sure the pros have a little more to say about that, but I'm sure that was exciting for everybody. And I can take the rest of that Vaseline there and kind of soothe it here. I've got E&D ointment somewhere, which I'll put on later. Either way, that helps make it feel a little better. Those of you who don't have any tattoos, it's pretty much just like a burn. That's about the gist of it. All that for that. I always end up using a little more ink than I need. Clean up our mess. Our supply. Get rid of the biohazard materials, needles and whatnot. Next time we revisit this concept, I promised my kids they could tattoo their names on me with their own handwriting. I'm going to draw it out. They've already written it, and then I'll draw it as far as with the surgical pen, and I'll let them do it as long as I can bear it, which may not be very long at all. That table back in its home. Put these guys back. Voila, we are done. Hurts a bit, looks strange because of the remaining surgical pen there. Once it cleans up, we'll take a look at it a couple weeks from now and see what it looks like. But that is the art of tattooing oneself. And either I don't feel much pain or I'm just insane. I don't know. But that's it. Thanks for watching.